Have you ever moved to a new country and the language is so different, it's confusing, you don't know what's happening around you, and you're not really part of the conversation? If you think about it, you could miss out on the best bakery on the block. You could miss out on the best free resource that you want to take your kids to, maybe a free event. So when we think about teacher entrepreneurs, we are teaching, we're embarking on a new entrepreneurial journey, and it can feel like stepping into a new country with a totally new language. You want to explore, but we can be really held back by those words. So today, I wanted to give you a language guide for online teaching, for running your own business as an online teacher. Consider this your crash course. Let's have a look at some of those words that I think you need to know to make your business successful. Online business vocabulary. So the first one I wanted to talk about is email marketing. You may have heard me talking about this the last few weeks. So why is this important? Email marketing is the use of email to promote what you have to offer. So that could be products and services, it could be building relationships with clients, or even just in the beginning stages, establishing your authority and letting people know what you can help them with. So if we think of email marketing, you know I love analogies. So email marketing, consider it your personalized. For example, if you were a teacher, maybe you had like a classroom letter, or maybe you were a part of a letter, a newsletter. So this is your personal newsletter to whomever you are serving to help them be engaged and keeping them informed of what is going on. So that is our first one, email marketing. So let's have a look at number 2. Now, part of email marketing you may hear in sales funnels. You might have heard of funnels. So why are funnels important and what do they help us do? So these are basically a series of steps that we guide a potential client towards making either a purchase or taking some specific action that you want them to do. So imagine like a lesson plan. So if you're a teacher and you're planning a lesson for your student or your clients, and each step in the funnel is like a carefully crafted activity leading to a desired outcome. Which leads us into the third one, which I love to talk about. Some people don't like this word, automation. Some people might not understand this word. So what are automations? So automations are using technology to perform a repetitive task automatically. So why do we want that? Because it's going to save us time and increase efficiency. And I've used this in the past, this analogy of if you turn on maybe a coffee pot the night before and you set a timer and it turns itself on in the morning. That is a repetitive task. You want that to happen every day. That is an automation. So it's just like having a virtual assistant that handles, for example, if you're a teacher, maybe you have routine paperwork you need to do every day, but it's leaving you free to focus on your teaching. So that could be an automation that you want to look into, something that could be done on your behalf that doesn't need to actually be you. It's a repetitive task. Have a look. Drop in the chat if you have any ideas of things that you do every day that you could automate. Have a think about. So number 4, we may have heard of a CTA. Maybe if you're learning in the marketing world and you've heard a CTA, it's a call to action. So what does this help us do? So it's a prompt that encourages your audience to take a specific action. So maybe that's subscribing, purchasing, or sharing a thought. So think of it as assigning homework. Your CTA motivates someone to actively engage with your content. Speaking of, I have one to share with you. CTA, if you would like to, I'll leave it below this, underneath this video when I'm finished. This website that I've just released to the public, it's brand new. I'm going to be doing a boot camp for teacher entrepreneurs. So if you want to learn more about that, teacherkristy.com/bootcamp. And I will be sharing more about that in the coming days, but just to let you know, it's ready and it's out there. So getting back to our vocabulary, check everything's good over here. Yes. Okay, so a call to action. So number 5 is, maybe you've heard of a lead magnet. Have you heard these terms? So this is an incentive that is offered to maybe a potential client in exchange for usually their contact information. Maybe it's just an email address. I like to ask for your name and your email address so I can say thank you, Michelle, for signing up for whatever it is that you've asked for. And then that's usually delivered as something for free, usually a free content guide, a cheat sheet, something like that. So a lead magnet. Why do we want a lead magnet? Well, think of it as your lead magnet is like an exciting teaser, like a lesson that you might tease for a student to encourage them to sign up for more. And if you saw my post in the last few days, I love to talk about baking and cakes, so I used the cake analogy as a way to describe a lead magnet. A lead magnet is like a taste test of something that you have that you can share with someone for free, and then that lets them know that you have a bigger cake or offer that could help them with more than just that little taste test. So let me know, are you into baking or are you a cook? I love the sweets, so I'm always into baking. Love to talk about baking. So then we have, you might have heard this other word called an opt-in. So lead magnet, opt-in. Sometimes these are intertwined or used interchangeably along with a landing page. It's kind of 3 there: lead magnet, opt-in, landing page. So we'll describe how they all fit together. So this is number 6. When I used to teach Chinese, I would do number 6. So the opt-in is a process where someone gives consent to receive communications from you. So typically they've subscribed to your email list, probably maybe for that lead magnet that you just shared with them. So your call to action was grab this free lead magnet. For example, you might have come into my world for my tech tools checklist, teacherkristy.com/tech tools. So that is one of my lead magnets that people love to download to save time, learn which tools can help them. So this opt-in is typically subscribing to something. So think of it like your students raising their hand to participate in an extra credit project that they willingly opt in for additional engagement. So we've got our lead magnet. That is the thing that they get. The opt-in is the process we go through to ask people, do you want this thing? Sure. Okay, please give me permission so that I can share more helpful information with you related to this subject. And then number 7, I think this is 7. Number 7 is going to be a landing page. What is a landing page? People talk about a landing page. I have a training if you're in the inner circle and we've worked together there. A landing page is a stand-alone web page created for one thing. So it's typically designed for a marketing campaign, and it's often designed to capture leads or email addresses and names to drive conversions for something else. So when we think about a landing page, when you ask for my lead magnet of tech tools, you're going to opt in, fill out your name and email. I'm going to send you that free lead magnet. It's a PDF, also with a video that goes along with it. And that is so that I can continue to send you more information specific to that topic that you're interested in. And we do that by way of a landing page. So when we think of a landing page, it's a little bit different to a website page. How is it different? A landing page is created for one thing. Here's the information. Do you want it? Yes. Name and email. There are no other options. You either want it or you don't. You're either a yes or a no. Whereas a website page might have other things to click on down the bottom on the social links and go to this other page on my website. So a landing page is created for that one thing that you're asking people to learn about and decide, do I want it? Yes or no. So we could think of it as crafting a dedicated bulletin board in your classroom with some information that prompts someone to take action on a specific thing. I'm going to cover 10 today. So let's look at number 8. And we're going to, have you heard of these letters? It's a CRM. Everyone says you need a CRM, this important thing called a CRM. What is it? Customer Relationship Management. So this can be a software or a Google Sheet, an Excel sheet, something that helps manage interactions with your clients. This helps to streamline the communication and improves relationships. So this is something that I would write down if I need to follow up with someone about a specific thing by a certain date. I might write notes to remind myself of what it was that we talked about, what it is that they need so that I get the right information to them at the right time. So think of your CRM, it's like your grade book where you're keeping a track of your clients or students' progress and sometimes even preferences for personalizing their teaching approach. I thought that was a pretty good example. So number 9 is going to be ROI. Have you heard of ROI? What is ROI? Return on investment. So this is a measure of the profitability of an investment, comparing the gain or the loss to the cost. For example, if you are paying for example, a ConvertKit might be your email marketing tool that you choose to invest in. If you're in business, you're going to be investing money, but we want to make sure that we get a return on investment. Now, if you think of, yes, you can start out for free with ConvertKit, but if you consider the $29 a month plan, what does that give you? Well, can you hire a personal assistant for $29 for a month to deliver repeated actions on your behalf, even while you're sleeping, to collect payment for products that you've set and it's ready to go? Can you really pay a virtual assistant $29 for an entire month? I don't believe so. So if we think of return on investment, how much time is that saving you for just $29 a month? Amazing. Hours, I will tell you. 5 to 10 hours a month, depending on what you're doing, depending on what stage of business you're at. So we want to think of this is a similar process to evaluating the success of a professional development workshop by assessing the impact of your teaching methods. So maybe you've invested in some training. How is that making you a better teacher? How does that help you either know which clients you want to be looking for, or if you're a classroom teacher, how is that helping you be a better teacher so your students or clients get a better result? Return on investment, ROI. So number 10, we got to number 10 now. What is branding? People talk about branding. And if you look at this slide next to me, branding, you'll see my branding colors, but that's not the whole thing of what branding is. So branding is the process of creating a unique and memorable identity. So yes, colors can be a part of it. Fonts can be a part of it, but that's more like the creative side of it. But if you think about branding, we think about Nike, we think of cool running shoes, we think of like McDonald's, we go there for a fast meal for a cheap price, right? So we think of branding. When we think of McDonald's or Nike, we have a perception of what that encompasses. So branding is more about your identity. When people see teacherkristy.com, they usually think of someone who helps them with their business processes, technology, and combining all of that into an easy-to-use online business. So when we think of branding, we could consider branding as the personality of your classroom. It's a distinct, recognizable, and that's going to be appealing to your target audience. So today we've just looked at 10. There are so many more that we could cover. I thought these 10 were a great place to start, and maybe we'll do some more in the future. But those were the 10 tips or 10 terms that I wanted to share with you. What are they? Analogy to describe if you're not quite sure of what that is, and to help you understand how these can really help your business, and learning how knowing these words can really make sure that you don't miss out on an opportunity. Maybe you needed to learn something about your online business, but because you didn't know the terms that were involved there, you didn't know that it was something that you needed. For example, someone says, "Oh, opt-in training." You're like, "Oh, it's opt-in." Well, now you know what those words are. If there's a training using those words, now you'll know whether they are for you or not. So I hope this has helped you, just help you with some new language in your new situation teaching online as a teacher entrepreneur. You're not just a teacher in a classroom or a teacher in your own Zoom room. You're a business owner and you need to make business decisions. So you need to know those business words. So I hope this has been helpful. Like I mentioned, I have a bootcamp coming up, teacherkristy.com/bootcamp, and that's going to help you create a lead magnet in 5 days or less to help you attract either your first or your next 1,000 subscribers. And I look forward to seeing you there. Sign up for that and you'll receive an email from me within a short amount of time, and I will send you some more information about that, how we will do that together, and I look forward to seeing you there.